Welcome back to another Reddit story. We're doing Tales from Retail. Holiday season's coming up. Can't wait to hear some Tales from Retail from this holiday season. Alright, let's get into it. We're closed. I work at a very small, locally owned store. It's technically official policy that, even if the store is closed, no one can clock out and leave until there are no customers left in the store. I've been held back by this policy a few times in the past, but generally the managers I work with let me leave if I finish all the closing chores and anything there is to do for the day. But of course, the store owner sticks to their guns on this policy. About a week or two ago, my usual manager was a no-show, so the store owner stepped in for the day. Everything went well until closing, in which a customer comes in about 5 to 10 minutes to close. No biggie, happens all the time. My coworker goes through the whole customer service rigmarole. Do you need any help? Etc. Nope, just looking. Okay. Then the store closes. It's important to note that my shift rolls over when I usually eat lunch, and now it's dinner time. I'm tired, hungry, and ready to go home. I finish everything I need to get done for the day, and I inform the store manager of this. Okay, you can leave when the last customer is gone. Alright. I go and ask her, do you need any help? Nope, just looking. Alright, whatever. The store owner locks the front doors to prevent any other customers from walking in and extending this waking nightmare. Then goes and tells the customer that she'll need to find them when she's ready to leave so they can unlock the doors for her to get out because we're closed. They ask if there's anything they can help her find? Nope, just looking. 10 minutes past closing, my coworker and I are very closely hovering around this lady like she's a prime suspect of a string of thefts while she surfs through the shelves at her own leisure. So not even looking at anything in particular. She just wanted to see what we had. There were multiple times I strongly considered telling her, ma'am, I don't get to go home until you leave. It's also worth mentioning my ride was waiting outside for me this entire time. Finally, almost 20 minutes after the store closed, she leaves. Did she buy anything? No, of course not. We're actually approaching the worst time of year to have this happen, which is Christmas Eve. At least with my retail experience, it seems like when I worked at Walgreens, I worked retail before I worked pharmacy. And on Christmas Eve, we closed at midnight. You'd have people coming in the last 15 minutes try to make a mad dash to get the last thing for their significant other or whatever. I remember one time I was standing by the door. I would volunteer to stand by the door because I'm basically like, oh, it's 12:01 and someone approaches the door. I'm just like, sorry, there's no more room at the inn. Try 7-Eleven. I remember this one time. It was like 12:05, and there were still some people in the store shopping around because that's what you do, I guess. And a kid walks up to the door. He had to have been a teenager, like 20, teenager like 20, yeah, okay, teenager like 18 years old or something like that. And I say, yeah, sorry, we're closing. He's like, I need to get something for my mom for Christmas. I'm like, I just told him, I'm like, we open in the morning. You can come in, but man. Waiting until like literally the last second to try, well, past the last second to get something for his mom for Christmas. Yeesh. But I mean, someone that does this and stays in a store past the closing time and having people try to like say, is there anything I can help you find? You know, just let us know when you're ready to go so we can like open the doors and let you out. That person's never worked retail. There's no way trying to drop all those subtle hints like, hey, get out of our store, and not being able to pick it up. Yeah, there's just no way that person's ever worked in a retail setting. The worst customer I had was in our store an hour and 15 minutes after we closed. I know, an hour and 15 minutes. My manager at the time was like, well, we need time to close the store anyway and clean up, so you can just let them shop. And they stayed until an hour and 15 minutes after we closed. They did have a cart full of stuff. They were buying a lot of stuff, so I think that that's the reason why They let him shop, but I don't know. I have less reservations when it comes to people like that. If it was me on charge, I'd be like, yeah, you gotta go. Anyway, and this one comes from Angel in one of the user comments in one of my videos. So thanks, Angel, for sharing. This is kind of more of a Tales from the Customer, but it's my channel and I wanted to tell it, and I'm doing this. So anyway, here we go. Story time about some terrible customer service. The other day, my partner and I went to go do a quick food shop. We got what we needed, went to the self-checkout, and started scanning things in, but the machine kept messing up and reset the weight at one point. So the only way we can scan the rest of our things was to take the stuff we already scanned off the scale. Basically, it just kept repeating that there was an item it didn't recognize in the bagging area. It's no big deal. I just go and take the bag off there so I can carry on scanning and pay. Then, out of nowhere, the security guard decides to insert himself into the situation, going on about how we need to go to another machine. I'll take you to that one over there and scan in everything for you. He's already coming at us with a real bad attitude and starts saying how that item isn't scanning and stuff. And we try to explain that it has scanned, it's just that the machine doesn't want us putting it on the scale. Then, out of nowhere, with the most snarky tone, he just goes, "Do you know English? It says right there on the screen." Yeah, I do. The screen shows it's been scanned and added the price. It's just not recognizing the weight. Anyway, he finally calls someone who actually assists with the machines and knows what they're doing, and then he just ducks off. That is, until we leave, at which point he decides to practically run up to us and thoroughly check our shopping and receipt because the alarm at the gates went off. While he was checking us, it became obvious that something was wrong with the alarm because it was setting off every time anyone walked out. Plus, we didn't have anything that had been security tagged anyway. So, this kind of goes back to the previous story that I had, where the one lady that was walking through the store past closing time was told, like, hey, anything I can help you find? You know, hey, just let us know and we'll let you out. You know, she didn't pick up any of that lingo because they didn't work retail before. Same thing could be said here with the security guard at the checkout. You know, as Angel's sitting there ringing up her items, the security guard comes up and says, hey, I can help you scan that over here if you want to come over here. Which I know Angel's worked retail, and she knows that that's lingo for, hey, I think you're stealing something. Where if it was another lady that, like in the previous story, that was being rung up, she probably would have thought, oh, this guy's being so nice and helping me ring stuff up. Because they don't really kind of click that they're actually saying something and meaning a different thing. And I'm going to put on my tinfoil hat here and come up with a conspiracy theory. Get ready for this. The whole, like, the gates beeping as they're walking out, even though they didn't have any security tags, and it beeping for when basically anyone wanted to go out the door, may have been the store's way of saying, hey, we can indiscriminately stop people and say, hey, let's check your bag, without actually, like, stopping people without any reason to and checking their bag. So they just have the thing go off every so often. So it's like, oh, you set the thing off, let me check your receipt. The guy was already being suspicious by saying, hey, let me scan that for you. And was already being kind of a negative Nancy, but like saying, like, hey, can't you speak English or read English? And then mysteriously stops them from walking out the door because, well, guess what? The alarm went off, because it goes off all the time. I think it might be just their way of being able to stop people without, you know, saying like, hey, I'm going to stop you for no reason. The siren goes off, I've got a reason. Oh well, it's probably just my conspiracy theory. Customer was mad my dad didn't teach me his first language. This was from a couple of years ago, but it still makes me laugh. So I worked at a children's clothing store and I was wearing a necklace my father had given me before he died. The necklace was in the shape of his home country with a phrase on it in Arabic. I'm working the register and a lady comes up to check out some items she had. And as I was ringing her up, she asks why I was wearing that necklace. I didn't really get what she meant, but I said my dad gave it to me. It's the country my family is from. She then tells me her family is from there and begins to speak to me in Arabic. I stopped her and apologized. I only knew very little Arabic and apologized for any inconvenience it caused. She then looked at me in the eye and said something like, "Your father didn't raise you right. My children were raised speaking it. You're not really from your home country, and he failed you raising it as one of us." I then told her, with a smile on my face, that I sure my father would have loved to teach me more Arabic if he had left behind a Ouija board when he died. But she was right. He could have made more of an effort to teach me from beyond the grave. She gave me a dirty look and grabbed her items and left. So, like with most other stories I say on this channel, I told you that story so I could tell you one of my stories. There's a joke, and it goes like, what do you call someone that speaks one language? An American. Ba-dum-tsh. Because it's kind of true. I mean, Americans are terrible when they have interactions with people that don't speak English or speak very little English. And it's like, it's either they speak louder and slower, or they just talk to them in English and think that they can totally understand what they're saying. But anyway, this literally just happened earlier today. I'm at lunch, eating lunch in the lunchroom, as you do, and we have a Latino janitor that mops up and cleans up. He's a really nice guy, but he speaks very, very little English. You know, you can talk to him a little bit, but like basic words, you know. So I'm eating lunch, and a guy walks in from the warehouse and asks the guy, "Hey, you want to go and mop the bathroom?" And the janitor's like, mop? And he said, yeah, if you want to go to the north end bathroom in the men's room, I don't know what they're doing, but they're like replacing a drinking fountain over there or something. Like there's it's either toilet water coming in or something else to do with the drinking fountain, but it's really, really wet back there. And if you could go up there just in a little bit, I would really appreciate it if you could do that. And then the janitor goes, mop? Bathroom? Yeah, if you can go up to the bathroom, that'd be really great. Just let me know when to get it done, and then I might have something else that you could do. And then the janitor just says, okay, okay, bathroom mop. Yeah, if you could do that, that'd be great. All right, thanks. This whole time I'm sitting here thinking, obviously, the janitor is struggling. I mean, he doesn't know English, and that's fine. I'm not chastising him for that. He's trying to learn, and that's a good thing. But this idiot sitting there talking to this janitor and just going on about stuff that has nothing to do with like directions and telling him what he would like to do. And it made me realize, oh my goodness, this is the American tourist right here. This is the guy that goes to another country and speaks louder and slower, thinking that that's going to make someone magically understand English. Or just talks in their normal tone and is like, of course they understand me, I'm speaking English. I don't know. Some people. Thank you everyone for joining me on another Reddit story thing. Tales from Retail. Just want to thank you guys for watching, listening in to these stories, I guess. If you are new here and haven't subscribed, then that's a thing. If you liked what you saw, give me a thumbs up and share it with a friend. I do stream some games on twitch.tv/Kyoto Combat if you're interested in that sort of thing. If not, I will see you guys in the next video. So until then, later kids.